Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's session, we are going to discuss how to find square root of any number in Vedic Math. If you want to find out square root of any number, what do we need to do? We can go with two ways. Either you can go with long division method or you can go with the prime factorization method. But both are time consuming method and in examination you may need lots of time to do so. So here we can use this method using Vedic math. But keep one thing in mind, friends. The number whose square root is supposed to be fine, it must be a perfect square. If it is not perfect square, then how to do that we will discuss later on. And for that, you must be knowing square of numbers from at least 1 to 10. I'm not saying more than 1 to 10, but at least 1 to 10. So let's have a look what are the square of numbers from 1 to 10. I have written square of numbers from 1 to 10. Square of 1 is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25, square of 6 is 36, 7 square is 49, 8 square 64, 9 square 81 and 10 square 100. Why do we need this? That I'm going to explain you. But friends, first let's observe the square of all the numbers. As I told you, the given number must be a perfect square of any number, then only we can find out the square root of that number, right? So if you observe, square of 1 is 1, 4, 9. So here I can observe that if number ends with either 1, 4, 9, 6 or 5, then you can say 0, then only it would be a perfect square. If it ends with, let's say, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, it won't be a perfect square. So just by looking at the number, you can decide whether this method is applicable or not. That is first thing that I would like to say. Now next thing is, if any number ends with 1, let's say the unit digit of any number is 1, and then its square root must end with either 1 or 9. You can see that, right? If any number ends with 4, its square root must end either with 4 or with, either with 2 or with 8, right? If any number ends with 9, then its square root must end with either 3 or 7, right? If any number ends with 6, its square root must end with either 4 or 6. And if it ends with 5, it must be end with 5. And if it is 0, it must be a multiple of 10. It could be 10, 20 and so on, right? So this is observation. So first we need to look at the last digit and then we need to decide something. And before going to that, here you can see that if it ends with 1, then it could be, the square root could be either 1 or 9. If it ends with 4, it could be either 2 or it could be 8, right? So let me write all these numbers. If it ends with 1, then square root must be either 1 or 9. If it ends with 4, square root must be 6 or 4. Sorry, square root must be 2 and 8, not 6 and 4. If it ends with 5, then it must be 5, nothing else. If it ends with 6, it must be either 4 or it must be 6, and it ends with 0, it must end with 0 only, right? You can see that. If it ends with 1, square root could be either 1 or 9. If it's 4, then either it could be 2 or 8, or if it ends with 9, I didn't write it, let me write it. If it ends with 9, it must be either 3 or 7, square root should be, okay? If it ends with 6, then it could be 4 or 6. And if it ends with 0, it must end with 0. And if it is 9, then 3 and 7. Now, what is the importance of it? Why did I write it in pair? Now, you can see that these numbers are tens complement of each other. If I add them, 9 plus 1, 10. Interesting? And tens complement of 5. How do we find out tens complement? We subtract that number from 10. If I subtract 10 minus 5, it would be 5. So there is just one pair, right? If I add both of them, this is 10. It already ends with 0, so we are not going to do it. And if I add them, it is 10. So now if you look at one number, you can decide what could be the other number. So this is the fundamental which you must understand before starting the method. Now just by looking at the number, we can decide what should be the perfect square root of the given number. Let's have a look at some of the questions. Friends, let's start with number 676. So we need to find out square root of 676. What is the last digit? Have a look. It is 6. As it is 6, it must end with either 4 or 6, right? So last digit must be either 4 or 6. Now we should group them into two parts. There's 2 digit and 1. So this is one group, this is another group. Now we won't do anything with this 76. Now have a look at this number. This is 6. It is between which two numbers? That is to be decided first. It lies between 2 and 3, right? It lies between 4 and 9, right? So, which is the smaller one? Number is 6 and 9 is greater, 4 is lesser. So, I must say the unit digit must be 2. So, one answer I know it is 2, right? Now, how to decide whether it should be 4 or it should be 6? So, for that, what you should do is, you should multiply this 2 with next digit. It means 2 times 3. How much is it? 2 3s are 6. This is 6. Now we should compare it with 6. If this number is greater than or equal to this one, then we should take the higher digit. But if it is less than or equal to this product, then we should choose the smaller one. As you can see that here number is 6, here also number is 6. So I must choose 6. So my answer is 26. It means square root of 676 is 26. This is my answer. Now, next example is square root of 5184. So friends, what is the last digit? Last digit is 4. You can see that one of the digit is 2 because if it ends with 4, it is 2 squared. So either it should be 2. Next digit must be 8, friends. Now we don't need to look at the table because 2 plus 8 is equals to 10. Right? So either 2 or 8. Now next one. Next the number is 51, right? My number is 51. So 51 lies between 49 and 64. But 64 is greater than this 51. So we must choose this number 7 because 49 is closer to 51. So I choose 7, right? As I choose 7, what is the last step? Next step? Next step is 7, 8 are how much? 56. This number is 56. This number is 51. It is less than this 56. So what we should choose? We should choose the smaller digit. As we should choose smaller digit, my answer is 72. So square root of 5184 is 72. Now next one is, let's say 2809. It ends with which digit? Let's see. It ends with 9. If it ends with 9, it should be either D and next digit must be 7, right? Either 3 or 7. Now we need to decide whether 3 or 7. What are the other two digits? Other two digits are 28. Now let's see where 28 lies. 28 lies between these two, 5 and 6. But 36 is greater and 25 is lesser. So friends, we should choose 5. So I choose 5. Now it is D, fixed. 10th digit is 5. What about the another one? So 5 times 4. 5 times not 4. Next digit, 5 6 are 30. Digit is 30 and this is 28. It is smaller. So the next digit must be small. We should choose smaller one. So it is 3. Let's take some more examples. Next digit is 2116. Let's group them into two parts. Then it ends with 6. As it ends with 6, it must be either 4 or 6, right? Now, what is the digit? Digit is 21. 21 is between this 4 and 5. So, I must take 4, right? Because it is between 16 and 25. We should choose the smaller one. So, it must end with 4. And then 4 5s are 20, right? It is greater. So, what I should choose? I must go with 6, right? If it is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, then greater one, and less than or equal to, then the smaller one, right? So, my answer is 46. Now, next one is 7569. Let's divide them into two groups. It ends with 9. So, last digit must be either 3 or 7. Now, what about 75? Where does it lie? It lies between 8 and 9, right? Because between 64 and 81. So, I should choose 8 because it is lesser. Now, 8 times 9, which is 72 and my number is 75, it means it is greater, right? So what should I choose? Either 3 or 7. We must go with 7. So my answer is 87. And let's see one more example. Number is 1764. What are the last two digits? 64. So it ends with 4. As it ends with 4, it must end with either 2 or 4, right? Now, next is number is 17. It lies between, again, 16 and 25, right? So I must choose smaller one. So I must go with 4. Now 4 times 5, which is 20. But this 17 is less than 20. So I must go with the smaller digit, which is 42. So my answer is 42. Friends, you can verify these answers with calculator and you can practice this and it will be very interesting, right? And you can see that just by observing the numbers, you can easily find out the square root of the numbers. Hope you have enjoyed this session as well. And if you have really enjoyed it, please don't forget to like my videos and share it with your friends. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it by pressing the bell icon and you will also get notification of the new videos. Thank you.